Hello, dear students. Last lecture, do you remember what we have covered? Yes, that is if else control structure we have started with. So, I am sure you have practiced with if else with various programs. You are thorough with the syntax, and now we shall move ahead in this lecture to study more concept in if else, and we will try to cover few programs in Turbo C++. Okay, so let's start. So I'm just revising a bit before we start with the next subtopic, that is, in if we have to check the condition. If the given condition is true, this is the condition, say if this is true, then the statements written in the true block are executed. If this condition is false, then the statements written in the false block are executed. So you can use this if else logic when you want to check out for one condition, right? Say to check whether you have passed or failed, to check whether the given number is odd or even, etc. But can we have a provision to check for multiple conditions? Yes. So answer to that is there is possible to check for multiple conditions, and we will see how we are going to do in the today's lecture. So what is the provision? Understand that we can have one if else control structure inside another if else control structure, then such a if else it's called as nested if else statement. Consider this example which I have shown in PowerPoint presentation. If the given speed of a vehicle is greater than 60, okay, now if it is true, if this condition is true, then only, if this condition is true, then only we will go inside the if. So assume that the vehicle speed is 70. So what will happen? Yes, 70 is greater than 60. So we can go inside this if block. Now check whether that 70 is greater than 80. No, 70 is less than 80. So we will skip this true block, and what is written in else? See out, you are speeding normal. So with this speed 70, we can say that you are speeding normal. But what if a given person speeds with 85? So if the given person is traveling with the speed 85, then yes, in the first condition 85 greater than 16, it is true. So we will go in the if true block. In that also there is one more condition, that if 85 greater than 80, yes, this is also true. So now the message displayed is you are speeding very fast, and then the control of the program, just see this, will come out of this, right? And we will execute like that way. Okay, now sometimes we may have to use if else ladder. So the syntax is, if boolean expression I, so you will check for some condition, then the statements under that if true block are executed. Else if check for some another condition, then the statements written here are executed. If that condition is also false, then the control of the program goes here in the third loop here, like that. So when we want to go for multiple conditions, then we can use if else ladder. So I'm going to show you this one program based on this if else ladder also in Turbo C++. This is multi-way if else ladder. Now just check. depending on the temperature and the day, the action is taken. So if it is very cold, then and day is Sunday, then stay at home. If the temperature is less than -10 but day is a working day, then you can stay home but call work. That means you can do some arrangements or you can do work from home. If the temperature is quite good, then dress warm and go for office, like that. Okay, so we will see some programs based on this, so you will get a better idea about if else ladder and nested if else. Now consider this program which I have written for you, which is of displaying class obtained by a student based on percentage he obtained. Okay, so you can see here, this is a main function. I have included iostream.h and kawana.h header files. Then there are two variables which are integer, roll number and p for percentage. Okay, rn for roll number and p for percentage. This is just a message to display, it is an exam result. Then I am asking the user to enter roll number and percentage. So cin, rn and p. So up till now you know how to fetch the data from user using cout and cin object. Okay, now just see how I have written if else logic. If p is greater than or equal to 75, then the message displayed is congrats, you have got distinction. Else if p is greater than 60 and less than 75, that means if the student have scored say 70 marks, so in this case what will happen? 70 is not greater than 75, so this is false. So control will go to next else if, in which 70, CP means 70 greater than 60 and less than 75 is true. So you have got first class is displayed, and after that none of the conditions are checked because first condition is satisfied, second condition is satisfied over here. So control of the program should come out of this and you should exit. Okay, like that. If it is between 40 and 60, then student must have stored second class. Okay, getting it? And in the end you can see there I have just displayed the message else cout sorry you have failed. That means what? Here I have not written any condition whether it is less than 40 or what, because see, when these all conditions are false, at that point there is no need to check whether the score is greater than 40. Then we can say that sorry you have failed. That means I may not have to write again else if p is less than 40, because it is understood that checking all these conditions we have come to this point of the program where there is no need to check again whether it is less than 40, right? So I will execute this program and show you. So before that we will compile it, so there is no error. Then we will execute it. Now you can see there what we have written is first message printed is exam result. Okay, and then enter the roll number and percentage. So say roll number is 8 and percentage is say 67. Okay, so now see what we should get. We should get that the student have scored first class. Just see. Okay, I will also execute it for different conditions, so you will come to know. Okay, now see here what has happened in the last case that I am explaining first. We have entered roll number and percentage 67. So 67 greater than 75, this condition is evaluated first. That condition is false. So the control of the compiler comes to else if. Else if 67 greater than 60, see, because we have entered 67 as a percentage, now variable p holds the value 67. Are you getting it? So 67 greater than 60 is true and 67 less than 75 is also true. Now this is also true and this is also true. Now you can see that this is our logical AND operator. So true and true answer is true. So the displayed message was you have got the first class, right? I am now also executing it for say distinction case, right? So say run, and now I am entering roll number. You can give anything, say entering 91 as percentage. So see, congrats, you have got distinction. So my program is working fine with these two conditions. I will execute it one more time to check it for say fail condition. So suppose if I am entering students marks as or percentage as 35. Let's check now. So sorry, roll number is first variable. I am again entering say 39, 30. Okay, so sorry, you have failed. Now this remember, this first value is roll number and 30 is percentage. So for any value less than 40, I am going to get the result as sorry, you have failed. Okay, so I hope you have understood this program. Now let's see one more program which I have already written for you, which is to check whether the given number is even or odd. Now see this program. Again I have included two header files, main function. Then I have considered variable n, for which we are checking whether it is even or odd. Okay, so I am asking the user first enter the number. After user enters the number from keyboard, it gets stored in the variable n. So C in n. Okay, now what is the logic here? The logic is very simple. If when I divide the number by 2, if I get remainder as 0, then the given number is even, else the given number is odd. Okay, just see this logic again. So suppose, okay, I will explain you that in the execution. Remember, this is a mod operator, percentage sign. So when I do n mod 2, what is the expected result? If I consider any number, say 15, so 15 mod 2 will give me either the value 0 or 1. Any number you divide by 2 will always give you either 0 or 1. So if it is perfectly divisible, remainder is 0, else remainder will be 1. So 15 mod 2 will be 1. So answer is, so it is not equal to 0. So answer is number is odd. If I consider any even number, then the remainder is going to be 0 because it is perfectly divisible by 2. Hence the number is even. So we will just compile it to check for any errors. So no errors as such. Then we will execute it. Control F9. So enter the number. So suppose if I am entering number 9, what should be expected result? It has to be, yes, odd. See, okay, I am again executing it for you for some another case. Say number is 88. It is even. See, that means again here we are not showing logic to the user. He is expected to get only the answer whether it is even or odd. So we will asking him the correct message that he wants to know, that enter the given number and you will get the result whether it is even or odd. The logic part we are not keeping it available for the client or user. Okay, so this is a very simple logic for even and odd. You can practice more programs using if else, that is check whether the given number is Armstrong or not, to check whether the given to check the greater number among the two numbers, like that. So just do all these programs which just now I told and practice more and more. Thank you. Bye.